Asante sana kuendelea kuwa nasi hewani. Kipindi kilicho hewani ni hiki cha Top Sport. Tumekwisha kurindima awamu ya kwanza ikiwa ni ulimwengu wa kandanda. Tukaingia ulimwengu wa raga, afu sasa tunaingia katika ulimwengu wa athletics. Hiyo ni riadha. Katika makala ya 43 ambayo utafanyika kule Denmark, mbio za nyika ulimwenguni, Kenya, Jamhuri ya Kenya tayari imekwisha kukiteua kikosi dhabiti tena imara. Kwa sasa kimekita kambi ya mazoezi katika chuo kikuu cha walimu cha Kigari, kaunti ya Embu. Kumbuka kwamba wameondoka jana, kwa hiyo leo ndo wameanza tu mchakato mzima mazoezi, lakini katika mchujo wa kitaifa uliofanyika katika uwanja wa Eldoret Sports Club katika kaunti ya Uasin Gishu, wanasema Eldoret ni mji wa mabingwa. Ndio wanasema ni City of Champions. Wacha tuwai kauli yake Amos Kiruya. Alihitaji muda dakika 29 sekunde 50.5 kuandika ushindi na kumshinda bingwa mtetezi Geoffrey Kamworor katika mchujo huo siku ya Jumamosi iliyopita.
Siri yangu ni training tu. Vile ni train huko, nilitrain vizuri. Nikafuata program kenye kocha ananiambia. Target yangu ni kupata medali yoyote.
The course was so competitive because it's like steeples and I'm not used to run steeples, and there's mud course, so I think it's very competitive race like Denmark, and I do appreciate it.
Kauli yake Amos Kiruya imeandamana kabisa na yake Helen Obiri ambaye alishinda upande wa kinadada akiwa ametumia muda wa dakika 33 sekunde 18.9, lakini kwa sasa inapishana na kauli mbili muhimu sana kutoka kwa naibu rais William Ruto sambamba na gavana wa kaunti ya Uasin Gishu Mwite Mandago.
Mheshimiwa Rais alisema the directive given by His Excellency the President that the next time we are recruiting the police, we will give 100 positions to our sport, to our athletes. The next time we are recruiting the Kenya Defence Forces, 100 opportunities will be given to our athletes so that wao waweze kupata nafasi ya kuwa na facilities, because Kenya is a sporting nation.
Na mimi nataka kuambia wale wote mmekuja kujumuika na sisi kutazama mbio hizi ya kuwa mmesafiri hadi Denmark na kurudi bila kutoka hapa Eldoret, kwa sababu wale wataenda kushinda Denmark ni wale watachaguliwa hapa leo. Na kwa hivyo tunataka kushukuru sana, and we want to assure you all these county governments you see here have committed to support sports.
We have followed the devolution system of government as well to support what the government has done in terms of hosting events outside Nairobi.
Ni shughuli pevu ambayo ilipata mbashara moja kwa moja kutoka kaunti ya Uasin Gishu, uwanja wa Eldoret Sports Club. Kumbuka kikosi kimesimama hivi kwamba upande wa kilomita 10 kwa kinadada hapa inaitwa senior. Waliona milango ya skuli atakwambia senior women. Hapa kuna Helen Obiri, huyu ndiye alishinda mchujo wa kitaifa akiwa ametumia muda dakika 33 sekunde 14.9. Yuko Beatrice Mtai nafasi ya pili, alitamba hapo akawa Beatrice Chepkoech. Huyu ni anashikilia ama ni mshikilizi wa rekodi ya dunia katika mbio za mita 3000 kuruka viunzi na maji, akaridhika na nafasi ya 3. Nafasi ya 4 ikawa imemwendea Dibora Samoma, nafasi ya 5 akaridhika nayo Eva Cheono, alafu nafasi ya 6 akafunga 6 bora ni Lilian Kasait. Kumbuka bingwa mtetezi ambaye alitamba kule jijini Kampala nchini Uganda mwaka 2017 Irene Chepet hayuko, manake ameenda kufanikisha kuongeza idadi ya vyombo ulimwenguni kwa maana yeye mjamzito. Alafu upande wa wanaume alitamba huyu kijana Amos Kiruya, alikuwa ametumia muda wa dakika 29 sekunde 50.5, akafuatiwa katika nafasi ya pili na Evans Kaitanyi ambaye alichukua nafasi ya pili. Nafasi ya 3 kumwendea Rogers Kwemoi, nafasi ya 4 Richard Kimnyan, nafasi ya 5 Geoffrey Kamworor, bingwa mtetezi ambaye aling'aa kule jijini Kampala nchini Uganda mwaka 2017 akiwa ametumia muda dakika 28 na sekunde 24, akaridhika na nafasi ya 5, lakini tiketi ya moja kwa moja kwenda kutetea ubingwa wake na Ronex Kipruto akawa anafunga orodha 6 bora. Kumbuka kuna pia hiki kitengo cha wanariadha ambao umri wao haujapita miaka 20. Nafasi ya kwanza ilikuwa imemwendea Samuel Chebole upande wa kina kiume. Mbona haina kinaume? kina dada kinaume, wavulana hao alikuwa ametamba, alafu upande wa kina dada akachukua nafasi ya kwanza ni Beatrice Chebet ambaye kwa kweli aliridhika na nafasi ya kwanza upande wa kina dada. Kwa hiyo wanajiandaa kule, na ni kwamba kuna pia wingu jeusi lilitanda katika ulimwengu wa riadha. Bado wajazikwa, waliaga dunia wanariadha kongwe. Huyu ni Mayaka Sambamba na Nyandika Mayoro, waliaga dunia licha kwamba serikali imekuwa kama ambayo Semeyosho Makori amesema imepuuza, kama ambayo inapuuza masuala ya kuwajali mashujaa ambao walitendea Kenya haki miaka iliyosonga miongo kadhaa. Walienda chini, lakini nilipata nafasi ya kuongea na rais wa shirikisho la riadha hapa Kenya, Meja Jenerali mstaafu Jackson Tuwei. Litoa kauli yake, tuisikie.
Nyandika Mayoro was the pioneer of track. As you know, he was one of the first athletes who represented this country in the international competitions in the early 50s. John Mayaka was also the pioneer of the field events, having been the first international competitor in javelin, both in Commonwealth Games and all African Games. So you can see both of them were pioneers. And so we want to send our very sincere condolences to the families, to their families, their friends, colleagues, and everybody who have been with them. It's important that we look at the heroes, because really heroes in totality, in general. But of course, since we are talking about athletics, we look at the athletes, the athletics heroes who have brought a lot of glory to this country, and see that the government supports them in terms of insurance, for example. Medical insurance is very important.
Kuna kitu kimoja ukijui kuhusu Jack Tuwei, huwa ni mwanagofu, anacheza gofu wakati yuko huru, hayuko katika masuala ya riadha. Lakini jana hiyo nikiwa katika makao makuu ya shirikisho la riadha hapa Kenya pale Kenya niliongea na yeye, akanibia siri hali ilikuwa kuwaje kule Eldoret County ya Uasin Gishu. Kwa mara ya kwanza mashindano mbio za nyika yamepelekwa katika county, alafu amesema sasa hivi wameleta mtindo kwamba kama unataka uandae mashindano unatuma maombi. Tusikie.
Eldoret was very exciting, I must say. One of those championships that was very well attended, very well organized, and we managed to select a team that is going to represent this country in the world cross country coming up this month, actually, because we are already in March. But it was also the first time and our first experience that we held these championships outside Nairobi. Introduced a bidding document so that any county that is ready to show interest to host any event of athletics, then they can fill that document, they can come and show interest, and we can discuss together on the best way of organizing the sport outside Nairobi. So we want to devolve just like the government has devolved other functions, and I believe the athletes out in the field would like to see also some of these elite athletes who have been running to run in their soil. So we selected the team of 30 athletes because we have got 5 categories that are going to be competed for. And we asked them to come today, actually, so that we can ferry them to the training area, that is Kigari Teachers College, where we have trained our cross-country team for many years. And it has served us very well. So we don't want to change. We'll be going to see them and to encourage them. And we'll let you know when we are opening the camp officially in Kigari. We are also planning that they leave around 27th or 28th of this month, because the competition is on the 30th of this month. So we want them to leave in good time so that they can go and prepare, they can attend the technical meetings, they can go and see the route, they can acclimatize.
Kile kikosi utakisemaje? Maana kina Helen Obiri, Ndumazo anakimbia mbio za nyika, Geoffrey Kamuror, Beatrice, wale wote utawasemaje waliochaguliwa?
Most of them are young athletes, by the way. If you look at the list, most of them are young athletes. Very few of them, as you have mentioned, Geoffrey Kamuror, Beatrice Chepkoech, Helen Obiri, very few of them are the senior category. And therefore, it is very good that they are there so that they can pull and they can show experience and they can teach the young generation that is going to form the team, that has already formed the team, because we also want the young generation for the future. And we want to encourage them that they do well, they go and train well. We want to pray for them that they will be free of any injuries, so that they can go and do well in Denmark.
Nini muhimu kufanyia mazoezi kule Kigali Embu? Manake mara nyingi tunafanya kule ndio tukienda tunatamba. Nini muhimu wake kujiandaa kule Embu?
Embu, you know, is on the slopes of Mount Kenya. So the altitude, first of all, is very good. The weather is also good. The facilities, by the way, in Kigali Teachers College has been wonderful for us, and we want to thank the leadership of Kigali Teachers College over the years, because they have given us those facilities to use. Sometimes they even assist us with certain other facilities that we may not have. We would like to, as much as possible, to make sure that all the athletes in Kenya run clean. That's our objective, that every athlete in Kenya runs clean, because these ones who are going to the World Cross Country, we will make sure that they are tested not only once, at least in time, because there are different testing the tests that they will go through, both in competition, which most of them have gone through, and out of competition. And I'm sure we will not leave any chance that anybody can go without being checked, to make sure that they are all clean. So I just want to encourage also that they make sure they are also clean. Not just to depend on us to make sure that they are clean, they must also make sure that their bodies are clean.
Akiondoka kutema madini yake hapo, rais wa shirikisho la riadha humu nchini AK Meja Jenerali mstaafu Jack Tuwei. Wacha nitende haki nisome matweet mawili matatu na hisirao kio nyumbani. Nasema leo kuzuri. Eric 254 anasema just do destroy. Leta kizungu, mimi niko vizuri. Ali Jabu anasema hapa, I fear Honorable Amina Mohamed is not worthy that position. Hicho kiatu anasema kikubwa. Utaka nisome yote hiyo itakuwa shida. Tony anasema shida yenyewe iko katika serikali ya Jubilee. Ndio anasema kauli yake hiyo nzito hapo, akiwa kwamba tumesema leo ufanye mambo yako at NTV Kenya, at Aida Waringa, at Yoshua Makori, #TopSport. Leta matweet yako ndani haraka haraka. Nataka mimi nikimpigia pasi ya kule chini kidogo hivi Aida afanye mambo yake, nikuwe nafungua matweet mengi hivi. Kwa hiyo leta matweet yako, usiogope, na nikikosa kusoma usinihukumu. Labda sijaiona, labda nimekuwa kidogo mdome songa, nitafanyaje Yoshua Makori? Nasoma ile nakuta, lakini leta, usihofu kwamba haifiki haisomwi, inakuja. Alafu kesho niko nakuibia siri kwamba Gor Mahia yuko genini. Lile ni jukumu la taifa la Kenya. Atakuwa yeye anakipiga dhidi ya Hussein Dey. Hussein Dey yuko vizuri hapa nyumbani, alitoa ndani mara 2 katika uwanja wa kimataifa wa Moi Kasarani, lakini ikawa kwamba anamkaribisha Gor Mahia katika ardhi ya Algiers, Algeria. Kumbuka kule Algeria shughuli nzima ni kwamba kijana yule Mahrez yuko Manchester City, alishinda taji na miamba wa King Power. Hawa ni Leicester City mwaka 2015, 2016. Yule kocha walishinda nao taji alienda Fulham, Claudio Ranieri. Alionyesha mlango manake matokeo nduni, akaambiwa hapa si kule Leicester ulitamba ukachukua taji, sasa leo utafanyaje? Aida piga mambo yako, naona pia chronometer hapa inasema takriban dakika 3 tuingie saa 10. Funga twenzetu au sio?
Karibu saa 10 Makori, and I do have Kathleen Kihanya here from the Kenya Open Golf Tournament. We'll get to that one-on-one in just a bit. Na Makori amesoma comment pia, mimi wacha nisome kidogo. Jumbe anasema on Twitter, kameshika sana Top Sport hapa KIMC South B, you are watching. And Agustin Dubi, you say AFC Leopards tuna survive, we will get it right. At Gideon_Mutai, unasikia Makori akicheka, na Gideon anasema at Aida Warenga, #Top Sport, at Joshua Makori, I'm loving your combination. We appreciate your sentiments, Mutai. Now, before this one-on-one, to get to know everything that's happening in regards to the golf sporting event here in the country, let's get in I Am Sport Larry Ngala. Now, if you don't happen to know who Mr. Ngala is, we here at Nation Media Group really respect the man. He recently turned 70, and our very own Brian Otwal sat down with him to get to know his journey when we talk about sports journalism. Let's have a look.
Welcome to I Am Sports. Kenya Open Golf Championship Hall of Famer, an ardent golf player, and a veteran sports writer with Daily Nation. For over 4 decades now, Larry Ngala is our sportsman today to talk to us about golf and his journey so far. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you.
It has been a good journey and a happy 70th birthday.
Thank you.
What has been the secret?
Nothing, playing sports.
All right, you've done this at Nation for now 4 decades. We're doing golf. What is the secret and how do you do it to be good all through?
Well, it's I think passion. One, you must have passion for that sport you are writing. You know, I love golf. It's one of the sports that I attempted to play and I got stuck in it. I played football from primary school to secondary school, and eventually when I had a break when I went to college in the US. I tried to play all sorts of sports. I didn't fit, so when I came back, I decided, you know, I want to try this game because, you know, I had an incident one time. A friend of mine invited me to go and watch the US Masters in Augusta, which is one of the major big you know, golf events. And unfortunately, they could not allow me to go to the golf course, to go to the golf club, probably because of my color. So when I came back here, I said I will try and play this game. And a friend of mine, the late John Mucheru, who was one of the top amateur golfers in Kenya, he invited me for a round of golf at a Railway Golf Club. That time I had already started writing, but I was not playing. And he tried to encourage me, told me, look, you know, you will write well if you are a player, because this game, if you're not a player, you may not be able to appreciate or like it. So I joined Railway in 1978 and started playing. So he really gave me a lot of support, you know, told me the kind of questions I should ask, you know, players when they come out of the golf course and so on. And apparently, come 1980-81, I was now an expert. So continued covering it and other events. And I've been all over the world covering golf.
All right, looking at it also, you are one of the guys who started off the Nation Classic Golf Series, something, but then it also builds up to some events such as the Kenya Open, because we have golfers who take part in the Nation Classic and come to take part in the Kenya Open. Talk to me about broadcasting or doing journalism in golf.
It's a big thing. It's a big thing. It's just only here because we have not really got into the hang of it, but it's a major thing. This year, for instance, the Kenya Open is going to be played as part of the European tour series. Yeah. You know, the rest, popularly known as the Race to Dubai, because Dubai that's where they do the grand finale of the season. That's a major thing. It's a big thing because we are going to have live coverage, you know, for the 4 days, and you can imagine how many people will be watching Kenya Open from wherever they are. So it's a major thing. It's a huge thing.
Looking at it, Kenya Open is something that no Kenyan has won it so far. But if I may ask, how better can we grow the sport of golf?
We need to nurture talent from the junior level. You see, when you look at these players who are coming to play in the Kenya Open, there are people who have been probably turned professionals at the age of 15, 16, 17. Here, our players first, they have to stay probably 4 or 5 years in as amateurs before they come to a professional, which is too late. Okay. We need to start nurturing talent. And the Junior Golf Foundation right now has a huge program to try and nurture talent from different parts of the country, you know, so that, you know, we can have one of those young fellows, you know, discover some talent and try and put some more resources on those young fellows to prepare them for this kind of event like the Kenya Open or other event. You can't just pick somebody from the streets and think he will win the Kenya Open. It doesn't work like that. We need to really put a lot of resources. And thank God the Kenya Open Golf Limited has started the Safari Tour, which is supposed to help the players prepare for the Kenya Open and other international events. Yeah.
All right. What has been your experience for 45 years now? What has been your best and worst experience interacting with the best golfers in the world, also reporting on the same?
I've enjoyed every bit of it, but there was one year that the Kenya Open was not played because of lack of sponsorship. That was 2003. And for me, it was very disappointing because, you know, the Kenya Open, besides the other events like the Safari Rally then, was a major, you know, event for the country. So the fact that, you know, it could not be played because of lack of sponsorship was a very disappointing. You know, when you're doing your work, you want to do it the best way possible for your readers. You know, the focus is normally about your readers out there. You want to make sure that they get the first-hand information. And that is always my focus. Anytime I'm outside the country, I want to make sure that our nation readers or viewers have the best and first-hand information. That is always my motto.
Best and first-hand information, but then some words that perhaps you use in your writings, words like bogeys, birdies. Just briefly, if you can tell these words to a few people to understand what they are.
Well, a golf course has 3 types of holes.
All right.
There's a long hole, a long distance hole, which is called a par 5. Means you are given 3 shots between the tee where you start to the green, and you are given 2 on the green. And then the middle level hole, which is par 4, you are given 2 shots on the fairways and 2 on the green. And the short one is called par 3, where you are supposed to hit the ball from the tee to the green, and you putt either once or twice. So if you, in any hole, if you putt or get 4 shots better than the 1 shot better than the hole, that's a birdie. Yeah. All right. A bogey is always worse, a shot worse, or 2 shot worse. Double bogey is 2 shot worse. Triple bogey is 3 shot worse.
An eagle.
But an eagle, you can get an eagle on a par 4. Like for instance, if you hit your tee shot and then the second shot goes into the hole, that's an eagle 2. And then there's an eagle 3, which you can get it on a par 5. That one, it means you have to hit the ball from the tee, the second shot to the green, and then putt once. Then you have a hole in one where from the tee on a par 3, you hit the ball, it lands on the green, and then in the hole. So that's called hole in one.
As we sum this up, perhaps, what would you tell this one guy who maybe wants to get into specifically writing golf, or even wants to get into playing golf?
You as a writer, I would advise a writer to start playing golf. That's when you will be able to understand and appreciate the players, so that when you interview a player who's coming from the golf course, you know what kind of questions to ask, because you are a player yourself. You put yourself into his position or her position. But if you're not a player, you know, you may not be able to, even if he has played well, you will not be able to know which questions to actually ask. But if you're a player yourself, it doesn't matter whether you have played at such a high level or not, as long as you know how to play and you know the language that is used and so on, you will be able to ask good questions and get a good answer.
All right.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Thank you
you
so much for the insights.
Thank you very much.
Asante.
Appreciate.
Fantastic stuff there from one Larry Ngala, veteran sports journalist based right here at Nation Center. Well, let's get into matters golf now. And as I'd said earlier, we are joined by one Kathleen Kihanya, who is the publicity and sponsorship director of the Kenya Open Golf Limited. Welcome to the show, Kathleen.
Thank you very much.
And just before we get into our own discussion, you did mention that you know Larry from back in the day. Surprised, just, you know, as to the magnitude of his work, 40 years in journalism.
Absolutely. I've known him for many years.
Yeah.
We've worked together for many years. But I was very shocked to hear he's 70. He doesn't look any year older than 55. He's a good friend of mine. So
yes.
Well done, Larry.
I like that. Clearly the effect of golf in his life, doing him rather well. So let's get into that. The Safari Golf Tour Series, Kathleen.
Yes.
Of course, building up to what will be the Kenya Open. Just tell us about the Safari Golf Tour, some of its objectives. What are you aiming for?
Well, the Safari Golf Tours was actually started last year after the Kenya Open. And this is part of the preparation for the local pros to prepare them for the Kenya Open. And so we had our first tour last year in August, and we had it in Nyali. And then after that, we went to Vetlab, and then after that, we went to Limuru. After that, we were in Thika Greens. Is that correct? Yes, Thika Greens. And then we had Windsor, and then Muthaiga, then Windsor. And then we had the final leg this week in Karen Country Club. So in total, we've had 7 of those events. And really the main objective was to prepare our Kenyan pros. As you know, Kenya Open has been around for 51 years.
Wow.
And we have never had a Kenyan win. So we've felt challenged as a board. What can we do for our local pros? So that's why we actually set up the Safari Tour, just to give them, to get them to practice and to have an opportunity to play to those standards.
Good stuff. And, you know, of course, you wrapped up on Wednesday in Karen, but what do you hope to gain out of the progression of the Safari Golf Tour as it does go on?
Well, I think for me, and I think for the board, as I speak on behalf of the board, it is a fantastic step. It's been very, very successful. We have about 50 Kenyan pros today. They're all really good at what they do, but we felt that there was a need to give them an opportunity to practice. And for me, it has been really, really successful. We've had, I think, 90% turnout from all the pros in all the events that we have had. And I genuinely believe that our Kenyan pros will be more prepared this year, the Kenya Open, than they have ever been. So it's a wonderful thing.
Good stuff. And fantastic final showdown at the end there between Greg Snow and Dismas Ndiza. But let's talk about the next Safari Tour. When will it be?
Well, we are going to have the Kenya Open, and right after that, this time we plan to have at least 10 events. So we really hope that after the Kenya Open, which is in March, we should start our first Safari Tour immediately in the month of April. And hopefully we can have at least a minimum of 10 of those events. And we are also hoping that other sponsors can come on board. We are very happy to announce that Barclays is part of us now, and they have agreed to work with us, and they'll be part of the co-sponsorship of the Safari Tour. So this is the best way that we can prepare our Kenyan pros. And let me also add that we have had interest from other African countries. We've had Tanzania and Uganda participate in the Safari Tours, and I'm happy to say that a Ugandan has actually qualified to play in the Kenya Open.
So lots of progress in regards to that.
Lots of progress.
I like that. And we talk about the Safari Golf Tour Series. Of course, it ended, but it does build up to the big one, which is the Kenya Open Golf.
Right.
Now, give us details, Kathleen. When is it? Location? For those watching who want to be a part of it.
Oh, everybody has to be part of it. The Kenya Open this year will be in Karen Country Club, Karen Golf Club, and it will be held on the 14th of March to the 17th of March. And this year, I know you're about to ask me that, what is so different about it. We are all very excited.
Yeah.
It's the first time that Kenya will play in the main European Tour. And we are also excited about that. We have moved a notch higher. As you know, Kenya Open has always been part of the Challenge Tour. This year, the difference is that, you know, our own president, you know, challenged us, and he said that we have a really good asset in the Kenya Open. And for the last 50 years, we've made a name for ourselves, but how do we take this a notch higher, where we can use this asset to position Kenya as a not just a tourist destination, but how do we use this asset to market our own country? And so that was a big challenge to us as a board. And, you know, when you move from one stage to the other one, there's a lot of things that come with it. And really the key thing is the prize money. And we say to him, look, it costs money to move from the challenge tour to the main tour. And he said, you know, I think this is a good asset. Let's use it. We have done well in athletics. We have good golfers in Kenya. Why don't we use this asset to promote our country?
Yeah, and lots of investment actually from the government in terms of the golfing sport here in Kenya. We did see the Vipingo Ridge Tour taking place a few weeks ago in Vipingo Ridge. So doing well, Kathleen. And let's actually talk about what more Kenyans can expect. You know, of course, the golfing element is there, the sporting aspect is there. What else?
I think we are going to have some really great golfers in Kenya. We have attracted very good golfers who play in the main tour. We also have some star players who will be playing. But I think other than just the event itself, and I'm really asking Kenyans to come out in great numbers and support our first ever European Tour event, there's a lot to do at Karen. There'll be a lot to do in Karen. We are going to have a lot of entertainment for families. Let me just also take this opportunity to thank our sponsors, Barclays Bank, EABL through Johnny Walker, who have actually taken up the whole entertainment center, Capital Radio, who will be doing a lot on the entertainment. I would also like this opportunity as well to thank Coca-Cola, who've also come on board. I'd like to thank JTL, who's actually connecting us. They're our communication partner. It's actually been amazing. So we have a lot of support from our sponsors. So there's going to be a lot of entertainment. There's going to be a lot of good golf. And so Kenyans come and see the best player at the Kenya Open.
Good stuff. You know, my director is in my ear telling me that we're very pressed on time, but we do have to look at matters on the course. If my director will just allow me just 1 minute, tafadhali. How many Kenyans will be taking part in this? Actually, just a total of 18 Kenyans rather. And the Kenyans that have qualified so far, some big names, including Daniel Nduva, Edwin Mudanyi, Mike Kisia, Mutahi Kibogo, and Dubai-based junior golfer Bradley Mogere. Those are the amateurs. When we talk about the pros, of course, Greg Snow, Dismas Ndiza, who you know very, very well, David Wahu, John Wangai are just some of them. Thomas Bjorn will be gracing the event when we talk about some of the big names at the tournament. I want to throw it to Makori, but not before we get into the Sport Pesa Shirt series. Kathleen, it's been a pleasure. Hoping to have you here on the show again.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me.
Most welcome.